This segment is sponsored by Possibilities Resale and Design. Welcome back to Road Trippin' Llano. Located in the heart of downtown, right off the main square, this vintage and antique store is a trove of treasures. If you're looking for something to complement your own style, discover something new, or find one-of-a-kind conversation starters, well, the possibilities are endless.
I'm Laura Alman here at Possibilities in Llano. We're very close to the square. In fact, I can almost see the courthouse from here. Thanks for coming, and let me show you around. My sister and I started Possibilities in 2019 after we both had retired from teaching. My mother traveled the world. She went out to all 7 continents. We learned a lot of different techniques of art and treasures from around the world from her. And I could tell 100 stories about my mother, but we actually have her cremains in a zebra up here on the shelf. And several people have wanted to buy the zebra. I'm like, no, that's not for sale, I'm sorry. But then when my sister passed last year, we actually put her cremains in a vintage McCoy cookie jar that's a Raggedy Ann. Because I'm an educator, I like for people to know there's a difference between antiques and vintage. Ideally, if you're an antique store, you should have items that are 100 years old or more. When you go shopping for vintage items, those items are 20 to 100 years old. We like to have everything together by group or category rather than divided up by vendor. Hey, this is our Texas section here in Possibilities. We do things a little bit differently here. And I wanted to highlight one of the things. We love history. Like I said, I'm a teacher. So here's actually a brand from Llano County. The Lone Star, of course, shows up everywhere. We change out our windows very frequently. Right now we have flowers. And then we have a wedding section over here. Of course, there's always flowers with weddings. This is our men's section. Look at this amazing historical atlas of the United States. We also have belt buckles. If you've got a Harley Davidson fan in your life, you might be able to find a gift here for them. One of the things that I find interesting from the mid-century, you know, cigarettes and ashtrays were a big deal. The art behind some of this was really fascinating. This is our Fiesta Ware section. When I first owned the shop, I knew about Fiesta Ware, but I had no idea how much was involved with it. People that collect Fiesta Ware know. They know their vintage. I always joke that Fiesta Ware has 37 names for yellow. We have a lot of local artists here. We have jewelers, we have sculptors, we have painters. We love to support them. This lady right here, she takes old jewelry and upcycles them into new earrings, which is really neat. Jackie, she does fused glass in her necklaces. She does a lot of neat new modern types of things that some of the younger girls like, and so I really like Tiffany's stuff too. We have some really neat game tables here, and they're things that I had not seen before I had this store. One of them is a flip top. Another aspect that's really kind of fun is that we have our Llano living room here, and we have a few friends here right now, but we call them our regulars. I'd love to invite everybody to come in and see Possibilities and see what we have to share.
Now that is really interesting. I actually did not know the difference between vintage and antique until we watched this special. That is really, really cool.
It does make a difference to a lot of people.
It truly does. And now you all know at home, with new inventory added every single day, there really is always something new, or should I say something vintage, to discover at Possibilities. Owner Laura Almond is here today to share more stories about this really unique place full of unique items. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
This is really special. I do love it. Anytime I go out of town or maybe go on a road trip or go on vacation, I love to find a place that has a lot of local vintage or antiques, and that's a fun place to go.
It
and
is.
That's what you're all about there, right?
Yes, yes it is. We love to have people come in. We actually have a Tesla charging station right next to our building.
A little old and new?
Yeah, a little old and new. So they come in and it's fun to have that happen, plus all of our locals.
Yeah, and nostalgia is a big part of
Yes.
what you do. And I know we were chatting, and you'll talk about maybe somebody's perusing your items and they see something that maybe a loved one used to have, or oh,
Yes.
I remember that from Grandma's house, and that's something really special.
Yes, it is. I even want to get a t-shirt that says, if Grandma had it, Possibilities are, we do too. I haven't done that yet, but
I like the way you think.
Yes, yeah, you have to be creative.
And one of the most important things, and I know this, we've got a good friend who loves to go out and find vintage items and go antiquing and all that good stuff. But I know what's important to them is that if they're going to go to a place over and over again, that there's new inventory, and that's something you take very seriously.
Yes, every day. In fact, before I came here, I was putting tags on little Hummel figurines, brand new, out today, and apparently they're up and coming again. So.
Is that so?
Yeah, yeah. You never know. You got to watch the market. It's hard to to know what's going to be next, but I try to keep on top of that.
That's great. So I think
Yeah.
people know, even if they've been to your store before, they know they can come again and find something brand new.
Yes, in fact, we've just recently redone our windows. We've got summer going on in the windows, and it's a fun. We actually have a canoe.
Oh,
in the
very
window.
cool. I love that.
17-foot canoe. So,
Keeping up with the seasons in
Yes.
very cool ways.
Yes.
And I know another great thing about you is that you're really kind of dedicated to the Llano community, and you've really displayed that by helping revive some spaces.
Yes, this is our second space. The spaces I've been in with the business were basically used for storage.
Oh, wow.
And so now we've turned them into financially producing areas.
Yeah,
So,
viable places downtown to really kind of help bring people back into the core of the city, right?
We love the East Main now. You almost can't find a parking spot some days, but that's okay. There's parking down the street a little.
That is a good problem to
Yes,
have.
it is.
Well,
Yes.
I'm a big fan of vintage items. Is this something that you've always been interested in? What inspires you about selling this nostalgia?
So a lot of the things in the store were actually my grandmother's or my mom's. Mom passed away in 2020. I miss her. We've got a lot of things I'll be able to tell her, oh, that was my grandmother's, and it's fun. And she liked the fancy stuff. And I learned a lot from her as far as quality and things like that. That was important to her.
It's nice to have a special connection
It
to
is,
things.
it
And
is.
I think,
But a lot of the things that she had weren't really mine, my style,
Oh, I
so I
see.
like to see them go to someone who loves them.
somebody with her style is
Yes,
out there for
yes.
sure. And I know I told you this, any store that's got to have an entire section just for Fiesta wear is right up my
Yes,
alley.
yes.
I
We love our
it.
Fiesta wear.
Well, we are so glad that you joined us. Thanks for having us out to Llano today. We can't wait to
Well, thank you
explore
so
the
much.
possibilities.
Yes, come
at
see us.
possibilities. Thank
Check
you.
it out. Thanks.